The marble lobby of the Pinnacle Hotel buzzed with the quiet energy of an exclusive charity auction. Diamond-clad philanthropists mingled beneath glittering chandeliers, while servers circulated with champagne and carefully arranged canapes. It was the kind of event where million-dollar donations were discussed as casually as the weather. Michael Chen stood near the service entrance, adjusting his borrowed suit jacket nervously. At 34, he had never imagined he would attend such an elegant affair, but his 7-year-old daughter Emma had been selected as one of the children to benefit from tonight's fundraiser for pediatric heart surgery. The event organizers had insisted that families attend, though Michael felt distinctly out of place among the wealthy donors. Michael worked 2 jobs to support Emma since his wife Sarah had passed away from cancer 2 years earlier. Days were spent as a maintenance technician at a medical clinic, and evenings found him driving for a rideshare service. The long hours and financial stress were wearing on him, but Emma's upcoming heart surgery required his full attention and resources. Across the room, Victoria Hartwell commanded attention without effort. At 41, she had built a technology empire worth billions, her innovative medical devices revolutionizing patient care worldwide. Tonight's auction was raising funds for the very type of pediatric cardiac equipment her company manufactured. Victoria moved through the crowd with practiced grace, her diamond necklace catching the light as she discussed donation levels with potential contributors. The tragedy struck without warning. Victoria was in the middle of explaining her company's latest breakthrough to a group of potential investors when she suddenly pressed her hand to her chest, her face going pale. The champagne flute slipped from her fingers, shattering against the marble floor. "I cannot breathe," she gasped, stumbling backward as pain radiated through her chest and down her left arm. The crowd around her froze in shock. Several people pulled out phones to call for help, but in those critical first seconds, everyone seemed paralyzed by the suddenness of the medical emergency. Michael was across the lobby when he heard the commotion. Years of working in a medical clinic had trained him to recognize the signs of a heart attack, and he reacted instantly. Pushing through the stunned crowd, he reached Victoria just as she collapsed to the floor. "Someone call 911 immediately," Michael commanded, dropping to his knees beside her. "And find a defibrillator if this hotel has one." Victoria's breathing was shallow and rapid, her skin taking on a grayish pallor that Michael recognized as a sign of cardiac distress. Without hesitation, he began checking her pulse and assessing her responsiveness. "Ma'am, can you hear me?" he asked, his voice calm but urgent. "My name is Michael. I am going to help you." Victoria's eyes found his, filled with fear and confusion. "It hurts," she whispered. "I cannot catch my breath." Michael quickly loosened her necklace and positioned her flat on the floor, elevating her legs slightly to improve blood flow to her heart. His hands worked efficiently, checking her airway and monitoring her pulse while speaking in a soothing voice that cut through her panic. "You are having a heart attack, but you are going to be okay," he told her firmly. "The paramedics are on their way, and I am going to stay right here with you." Emma had been playing quietly in a corner of the lobby when she saw her father helping the elegant lady on the floor. Without being asked, the 7-year-old approached and gently took Victoria's hand. "Do not be scared," Emma said with the innocent wisdom of a child who had spent many hours in hospitals herself. "My daddy knows how to help people when they are sick. He helped me when my heart was broken, and now it is getting better." Victoria looked at this small girl with wonder, even through her pain. Emma's presence seemed to calm something deep inside her, the child's fearless compassion providing comfort that no medical intervention could match. Michael continued his assessment, recognizing that Victoria was experiencing a significant cardiac event, but was stable enough to transport. When the paramedics arrived 6 minutes later, his detailed report of her symptoms and his initial care probably saved precious time. "You did everything right," the lead paramedic told Michael as they prepared to transport Victoria. "Your quick response and proper positioning likely prevented her condition from deteriorating." As they loaded Victoria onto the stretcher, she reached out and grasped Michael's hand weakly. "Thank you," she whispered. "What is your name?" "Michael Chen," he replied. "This is my daughter Emma. You are going to be fine, ma'am." Victoria was rushed to the hospital, where emergency surgery revealed a blocked coronary artery that required immediate intervention. The cardiac team confirmed that the quick response and proper initial care she had received probably prevented more serious heart damage. 3 days later, as Victoria recovered in her private hospital room, she made a phone call that surprised everyone, including herself. "I need to speak with Michael Chen," she told her assistant. "Find him. I do not care what it takes." When her assistant located Michael and called him, Victoria's first words were not what anyone expected. "Michael, this is Victoria Hartwell. I want to hire you." Michael was confused. "Ma'am, I appreciate the thought, but I am not qualified for whatever position you might have in mind." "You are more qualified than you realize," Victoria replied firmly. "I have been thinking about what happened in that lobby. You saw someone in crisis and responded immediately with competence and compassion. You stayed calm under pressure and quite possibly saved my life." She paused, then continued with growing conviction. "I need someone like you leading my company's emergency response and medical safety programs. Someone who understands that behind every medical emergency is a human being who needs both expertise and kindness." Michael was stunned. "Mrs. Hartwell, I work maintenance and drive rideshare. I am not an executive. You are someone who can recognize a cardiac emergency and respond appropriately while keeping both the patient and her frightened family calm," Victoria countered. "You are someone whose 7-year-old daughter has learned to offer comfort to strangers in distress. Those are leadership qualities that cannot be taught." Over the following weeks, Victoria learned more about Michael's background and his dedication to his daughter's medical needs. She discovered that his experience working in medical facilities had given him practical knowledge of emergency procedures and patient care that complemented his natural empathy and quick thinking. 6 months later, Michael Chen was the director of Medical Safety and Emergency Response for Hartwell Technologies, overseeing programs that ensured proper emergency procedures in all company facilities. His salary allowed him to provide Emma with the best possible care for her heart condition, while his new position gave him the flexibility to be present for her medical appointments and recovery. Emma's heart surgery was performed by the top pediatric cardiac surgeon in the country, using equipment that Victoria's company had donated to the children's hospital. The little girl who had comforted a stranger in distress now played happily in the garden of their new home, her own heart strong and healthy. Victoria often reflected on that night in the hotel lobby when a maintenance worker had recognized her crisis and responded with exactly the kind of competence and caring that she now demanded from all her company's emergency protocols. Michael had taught her that true leadership is not about position or wealth, but about the willingness to act decisively when someone needs help. The heart attack that had nearly taken Victoria's life had instead revealed something precious: that the most important qualifications for taking care of others are not found in credentials or resumes, but in the courage to act with skill and compassion when it matters most. Michael's quick thinking had saved her life, but his example had shown her how to build a company culture that valued human dignity alongside technical excellence. Sometimes the most transformative business decisions are made not in boardrooms, but in moments of crisis when someone's character is revealed through their actions. As Emma often reminded them both, hearts that are broken can heal stronger than before, especially when they are mended by people who truly care.